Refs, you suck. Refs, you suck. Do you need my glasses? Like, how can you miss that call? I don't understand. Like, what's wrong with these referees? Do they have training? Welcome to Rovis Rants. And here's another episode that we're going to discuss referees and how much they make, what they have to go to be a referee, and are we asking too much of our refs, Little League, House League, versus officials who referee games in the NFL, NBA, and NHL. So, first off, let me say that to become an official in, these large organizations, so the NFL, NBA, and NHL, you have to have minimum 10 years experience. They prefer somebody with a bachelor's degree, although it's not a necessity, something in sports medicine, sports management, something along those lines. So, you know, the everyday guy off the street is probably not going to get those kind of positions because there's probably a lot of competition. The referees usually with those 10 years of experience, 5 of those years need to be in college sport. The other 5 are usually high school. So, they have a long time. They are expected to do tests, they practice, there's workshops, there's certificate programs, and they're expected to have all that behind them so that when they get to the big leagues, they have a ton of experience. They know the rules, they know the procedures, they know the ethics. There is also referee training on ethics and behaviors and how to handle situations. So, a lot is expected of a referee, but do you know how much they make? After seeing these numbers, I realized I did things all wrong. I should have done some training, gone to school for sports medicine, sports management, something, and make what these referees make. Now, granted, women, there's not very many. I think there's actually just one in the NFL who is reffing a game. There's a few more in basketball. We're slowly starting to build. But let me tell you some of these numbers. So the average NFL official makes $188,322. Not bad at all. An NHL official makes even more than that at $212, $212,500. And an MLB official makes $235,000. Pretty good money, if you ask me. The expectation is you have to be athletic too, because you have to be able to run up and down the field. You have to, you know, you can't just sit in one spot. That's not going to happen as a referee. And so you're going to have some athletic abilities, as well as the training, knowing the rules, the educational background. But, you know, I just, I still am going to say it. Refs, you suck. um, the expectation is we expect them to know every rule every time, be right all the time, even in moments where things can be very, very quickly. And let's face it, we may not all view things the same way. A lot of sports are now bringing in the VAR. They're going back and viewing video to see whether the call was right or not right, and then they're changing calls as necessary. And so this is sort of like their backup, if to make sure the rules are being called correctly. Now, if you were a referee and you had fans yelling at you, is it worth it? Would you work for this kind of money so that, because let's be real, some fan on some team is going to be yelling at you probably every single game. And the poor referees who make minimal money in those little league games, or those house league games, they're probably making just above minimum, maybe a few dollars more. realistically, they're probably doing it for the fun of the sport and not for the money they're making. It's a good way to keep active as well. You're running up and down a field or a court, or an ice rink. You're skating up an ice rink. But they're not going to get rich. Unless you make it to the high levels, you're not going to get rich refereeing. But let's be real. That's pretty good money for an official to make at the higher levels. So if you had a choice to make this kind of money but be yelled at every time you went to work, would you take it? And then how does that compare to athletes who make quadruple and even more money than that, who are yelled at, called names, and then they get upset? They go on social media, they go to the referees and complain. Um, do we hold the referees to a less of a standard? Like it's okay for them to be abused in their workplace, but an athlete shouldn't? I don't know. Just what do you think? And what do you think about officials making that much money? It was also reported by Money.com that an official in a Super Bowl game can make up to $50,000 for one game. Granted, you are supposed to be the top officials to be chosen to do those games, but that's a lot of money. I mean, there's some people don't make that in a year, and they're making that on one game. Kudos to them for being able to get those opportunities. But is that unrealistic, or are we just paying them because it's a sport and sports pay well? And why are we paying this much money for an official? Why do we pay this much money for athletes? To be honest, I don't get it. But hey, it is what it is. But tell me what you think about the price tag that we're paying, because we as the sports viewers pay the leagues, and then the leagues pay the officials. So, we're chipping in. And is that part of, and obviously the athletes, where the arenas and all the other costs and stuff like that come into play. But should referees make that much money? And again, they're abused every game, at least by one person, yelling at them, calling them names. And let's be real, there are referees who have been physically attacked. I know growing up as a child, my dad, back home, told us that there was a soccer game, and it was a big game, and the referee was obviously one-sided. He was never seen again. So what happened? Nobody knows, but I think we all realistically know that unfortunately this person is probably not walking the earth anymore. And there are some crazy stories of refs being having to walk out of a stadium with security because the fans have gone crazy. Sometimes soccer, or football, if you're going into Europe and stuff, their fans are crazy. So a referee has to be a tough person who can handle the yelling, handle the screaming, maybe even being attacked by supporters of a team who feel like they've been gypped. But you know what? They make good money. So is the money worth the job? Would you take on a referee position knowing that you are verbally attacked every game, potentially could be attacked by fans or opposing teams? Would you take that job? Tell me in the comments. Tell me what you think about referees, and would you consider a new career choice if you could? Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if your subscribe button is red, you haven't clicked to subscribe to this channel, so please do so. Any support is really appreciated. Um, I would love to further this channel. So please hit like, subscribe, put in some comments that helps feed the algorithm. And I'm really hoping you will find that my channel, gives you something to talk about, and you'll find it in your heart to subscribe because I really do appreciate the subscriptions. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon.